clunky match in the beginning of the movie, and he wins the sort of US title of kickboxing. That match was weird. He's approached by Nagal and they say, "Won't you join our evil organization?" Nah. They say, nobody says nah to Mr. Nagal and murders him. Matt Reeves, however, sees this and starts to fight them, and now he's a target for the evil organization. So the entire thing with, creating your own promotion backfired pretty early. So he flies to South Africa to try to locate Nagal and take some serious revenge. An enforcer that Nagal sends on him, Paul Croft or something he's called, joins up with him because he doesn't want to kill Matt Reeves. So they form a dynamic duo, and now we are fighting. What is most essential in every kind of fighting movie that has ever been made? They don't have a lot of story, not in this case either, but you need to have good fights. If you have a good fight, then you can sort of gloss over the fact that it doesn't have a story, or in this case a story that is totally bonkers, but they don't. Apparently Mark DaCosta's also choreographed his own fights. Now he was either a terrible fight choreographer or he was completely wasted throughout the entire production of this movie, because this contains some of the worst fighting sequences I've ever seen in my entire life. It is clumsy, it is awful, looks terrible. At one point you actually see that Mark DaCosta sort of shakes his head a bit before he kicks the guy. You almost have the opinion that he knows that, oh Jesus, this is bad. It doesn't explain a lot, but so the fighting sucks. The bad guys are terribly incompetent, clumsy and awful, and represent no threat whatsoever, and they are almost to the level of comic reliefs. The production value is terrible. The acting is so bad it is almost enjoyable. I mean, just to see James Ryan in his Nagal version, believing he's some sort of a Bond villain, it is beautiful in a awful way. But you could have saved this movie. It might have worked if you would have had a fantastic showdown in the end between Matt Reeves and Nagal. It falls flat. Mr. Nagal is no Tong Po, I'm telling you that one. This is as generic and it is as uninteresting as you can possibly imagine, apart from all the sequences that features the bad guys in Mr. Nagal, because they're entertaining and they are batshit insane. But it also undercuts the entire movie because they are incompetent and clumsy and has escaped from some sort of a loony asylum. 87 minutes takes its sweet ass time to actually pass. You're thinking that, Jesus, doesn't this movie end anywhere? Nope. No. We have 87 very, very slow moving minutes to go through. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, but just to see some of Nagal's scenes makes it almost worth it. You will at least not be able to forget this awful performance anytime soon. Yeah, this is so far the worst movie I have reviewed. I'm gonna give this one 3. All of those 3 points belongs to Mr. Nagal and his henchmen. God damn, they're awful. By God. So that was Kickboxer 5. And you have a nice day now, and the Viksrand is signing out.